Our final story is called Miss Trouble Changes Colour, read by the same artists. Miss Trouble wasn't called Trouble for nothing. She may look sweet, but, believe me, she means trouble. On this particular morning, Miss Trouble was making a phone call, a troublesome phone call. She was pretending to be Miss Shy, and she invited Mr. Noisy round for tea. He, he, he. Who's that laughing? Miss Trouble. But that was just one of her many troublesome tricks. Look what she did to Mr. Small. She covered his house with a large box. When Mr. Small woke up the next morning, he found his house was completely dark, so he just rolled over and went back to sleep. Hee hee hee. Who's that laughing? Miss Trouble. And that's not all. She also went to the furniture shop. Good morning, she said cheerfully to the lady in the shop. Mr. Mean had sent me to buy some beautiful armchairs from his shop. Please send him the bill. Hee hee hee. Who's that laughing? Miss Trouble again. Poor Mr. Mean. When the armchairs were delivered to his house, he thought he might faint. And when he saw the bill, he really did faint. Hee hee hee. Who's that laughing? Miss Trouble, of course. Enough was enough. Miss Trouble needed to be taught a lesson. Oh, I'm so very, very clever, announced Mr. Clever to his friends. I have the cleverest idea to get our own back on Miss Trouble. Would you like to know what his plan was? Of course you would. Well, it's quite simple. Just take a look at Mr. Clever's drawing. Hee hee hee. Who's that laughing? It's Miss Trouble's friends. The next morning, as always, Miss Trouble had lots of good ideas for causing trouble. She met Miss Sunshine in the street. What has happened to you, Miss Trouble? Exclaimed Miss Sunshine. You're blue. Completely blue. Really? Said Miss Trouble, very surprised. If I were you, I'd see a doctor, said Miss Sunshine. Hee hee hee. Who's that laughing? It's not Miss Trouble. Miss Trouble went into the greengrocer's. Why is she blue? Said a very confused Mr. Dizzy. Has she been drinking ink? What if we all catch it? Worried Mr. Fussy. You should stay in bed if you're ill. Does it itch? Asked Miss Magic. Hee hee hee. Miss Trouble started to worry. Outside the shop, she met Mr. Funny. What a beautiful blue colour you are, Miss Trouble, he said. That colour really does suit you wonderfully. I don't know what you're talking about, replied Miss Trouble crossly. Well, the strange illness you have, of course, said Mr. Funny, suddenly serious. Hee hee hee. Who's that laughing? It's not Miss Trouble. And by now Miss Trouble was feeling really quite troubled. Miss Trouble had to find out what was going on. As quickly as she could, she ran to the town paint shop. Tell me, Mr. Paintbrush, she said hurriedly, what colour would you say I was? Let me see, he replied. Let me look at you closely. Well, said Miss Trouble, impatiently after several minutes have passed. Blue, said Mr. Paintbrush, definitely blue, decidedly blue, sky blue. But this is terrible, said Miss Trouble. Is there anything you can do to help me? I have exactly what you need, replied Mr. Paintbrush. Tip this into your bath and you'll soon be back to normal. And he handed her a small packet. The next morning, Miss Trouble was looking very pleased with herself. Good morning, Miss Trouble, said Mr. Silly. What a pretty colour, as blue as the bluest sky. Such a wonderful colour, agreed Miss Sunshine. Fabulous, nodded Mr. Small. But I do hope you spoke to a doctor. Are you sure you feel quite well? Said Miss Magic. Hee hee hee. Everyone started laughing. Everyone except Miss Trouble, that is. She didn't understand what was going on. But at that moment it began to rain, and as the rain fell on Miss Trouble, little by little the blue started to wash away, until soon there was nothing more than a big blue puddle under her feet. Hee hee hee. Who's that laughing? It's Miss Trouble and her friends. That was a very good trick, laughed Miss Trouble. She had got her old colour back again, and her smile. But unluckily for her friends, her troublesome ways were back too. They'd better look out. Time for our bedtime lesson.